Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Can y'all hear me? What's up with y'all? How y'all doing this evening, man? Y'all already know what it is, man. It's the man about town, Virgil Berry, aka Stacks with the Facts. And y'all know y'all tuned in to another episode of Real Talk Podcast. Hit that like button. Talking about hit that subscribe button. Definitely click on the subscribing bell. You know what I'm saying? So then subscribe to the page now. Share on your social media. How y'all doing this evening? As y'all can see by the avatar on the screen and the name, I got my baby girl in the building tonight, and we definitely about to go in. I'm gonna bring her up here in a couple seconds. Baby girl, just wait till I call you in, all right? How y'all doing
Okay.
tonight, man? Yeah, just wait till I call you in, baby girl. How y'all doing tonight, man? We about to go in, man. This is a conversation. This is a conversation, excuse me, that definitely needs to be had. You know what I'm saying? So I suggest if you have children, my daughter's age, if they're somewhere between the ages of 10 and 12, you definitely conversation. So anyway, how y'all doing tonight, man? What's going on? How your mama doing? How everybody doing tonight, man? It's Wednesday, hump day. Almost over. And too, man. Tomorrow night we're gonna have BG on the show. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna have her dropping some game on y'all ladies on how to maintain and you put into your daily regimen good yoni maintenance and care. You know what I'm talking about? So that's gonna be a beautiful thing as well, man. It's gonna be a beautiful thing, man. And then Friday night, we definitely having the listening party for my man Glister Guarantee. It's going down. And you already know what's going down. Yeah, man. So tonight, man, or should I say last night's show was very, very interesting, very riveting. It was a dope conversation. Oh, hold on. Is it gonna let me play some music? Hold on real quick, y'all. I think my computer, they think they're about to let me play some music. We about to see what's going on. All right, that's not coming up, but that don't mean this won't. Oh, hold on. Yeah, we about to definitely see if it's gonna let me play this music here in a second. What's up with everybody, man? How y'all doing, man? Y'all get on up in here, man. We going in, man. We got my baby girl, Genesis Berry, in the building tonight. This is my daughter. She would be coming up, but I don't know what's going on with her computer. It's not letting her use her camera for some reason. So we ain't gonna worry about that. Uh-oh. Come on, let's see if it'll let us play the joint real quick. Hold on. Oh no. Hold on, let's go to the other one. I think we got action, y'all. Y'all make sure y'all meet and greet each other as y'all come in, man. Say hi to my baby girl. Let's go. What's the guarantee? E&E. What your body say? Glitch, nigga. Shit, I'm about to flood the streets like when the levees break. Criminal minds like Garcia can navigate. Flowing while I'm blowing this gas. Nigga, no grace. Niggas not seeing me ever. I mean, no days. Fuck around and end up going to deep in this place. You need the shit that I claim. You dealing with grace. Took over the game. I storm like rain. Mistakes. Thankfully, I've been up the smoke like mom mistakes. Counting cheddar shit. I'm about to make a real cheese. Niggas be faker than bad. Niggas with good deeds. On my John Wick shit like Keanu Reeves. The placements won't be enough. You need the whole team. I've been a G since I could finish my ABCs. Kept it a buck so real niggas look up to me. Put your boy shit get crazy. When it's kicking me
stay red like Republicans. Put a fire on the track, now it's bubbling. Put your boys eating it, you a trouble kid. At first 100 million, double less. Let's go, all the hustlers getting money, let it go, let it go. All the mag, we get how we get the blow, get the dough. With the people that we probably gotta go. With your boys shit, nigga, let's go, let's go. All the hustlers getting money, let it go, let it go. All the mag, we get how we get the dough, get the dough. With the people that we probably gotta go. With your boys shit, nigga, let's go. Love sick, I'm the jealous in the motherfucker. Can't even take a step, that's how far I trust you. This black boy turned to shine the king under pressure. West side fat jacks, I took more than extra. Shake that extra fast, this is all the these street news. What I talk, with the blood flowing free. I want my mind, once again it's time. Read between the lines, it was in my heart. If they ain't got real lines, it ain't hard to spot a counterfeit. Undefeated, ultra real, firm, gully mountain shit. Couple hot shots, turn them to frozen margaritas. Even better when they serve with some flawless features. Next year they gotta pay for these flawless features. Flawless victories from the flaws that they teach us. Now my flow imitate how I board the plane outside. The little J gon' take over with my time's up. I get right to it. My nigga, we play it party. We put it in back in boxes. Yeah, they need harder. My flow be retarded. Sick, I need hella help. My group came back just like we how stellar felt. We just started kicking it like a yellow belt. We all made it to the pro. This is how the love shot up. You better have no help. Here come the devil till you catch me in the spot. We know that the ball is playing. The little beat with me with the magazine. So if you try it, you get shot. No vaccine. If you can sleep before I came and I'm the caffeine. I put the jokers out the net. You ain't no rap. It's in no fashion. You sticking to the business. Wouldn't even let her be in me off my chick. Something about the weekend when the sun is hitting. Shit be flashing like the lights when you get let's go. All the hustlers get the money, let it show. It's all the matter, nigga, how we get the dough. Get the dough. Get the paper, then we probably gotta go. With your bullshit, nigga, let's go. Let's go. All the hustlers getting money, let it show. Let it show. It's all the matter, nigga, how we get the dough. Get the dough. Get the paper, then we probably gotta go.
Yeah, man, you already know, but I had to let that run out, man. You know what I'm saying? I had to bang that joint. Y'all know that's the intro song, man, every time we come up in the building. You know what I mean? You already know that's the intro song every time we come up in the demonstration. So, you know what I'm saying? Thanks, everybody, for coming out tonight. Like I said, man, I appreciate y'all. You know what I'm saying? Y'all could be anywhere in the world, but y'all right here with me and my baby girl, and we about to go in. You hear me? Shout out to Ricardo Cray. What's good with you, brother? You already know what it is, man. I appreciate that, man. I think this conversation is one that definitely needs to be had. Shouts out to my baby girl, Jen, for having the courage at her young, tender age of 13 to not only come up with the idea to talk about, but to also actually come on a public platform and talk about it. You know what I'm saying? My baby girl, she's not shy, but she's not like she's not like one of those, Uncle Diggity, what's good? She's not one of those like lively, super, just out talking to different strangers, people type stuff. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So y'all know what I'm saying? Just now don't get me wrong, she's not shy. Don't get me wrong, she's just not used to talking on a public platform and a lot of people, but since she's at home, you know what I'm saying, on her computer, she pretty much can probably, be a little bit more relaxed because she's in her own environment. That's why I just didn't have her come over here to my house. You know what I'm saying? I thought it would be better for her to be in her comfort zone. You understand what I'm saying? That way, when we have this conversation, she'll be comfortable and she'll be able to speak more fluently, more elegantly, and more passionately about what it is we're talking about. You know what I'm saying? So how's everybody doing tonight, man? What's going on with y'all? Uncle Diggity, Ricardo Cray, what's good? Y'all meet and greet. Y'all know how we do it over here at A-Real Talk, man. Y'all come on up in here, man. Meet and greet each other as y'all come up in here, man. Y'all know how we do it. Y'all say what's up to my princess, man, to my baby girl, man. Make sure y'all meet and greet her, Jen. Make sure you go ahead and type in the comment section. Say hi to everybody, girl. What's wrong with you? Where your manners at? Yeah, man, we about to have this conversation, man. Like I said, I think this is an important conversation because whether y'all realize it or not, whether you want to admit it or not, this whole situation with our kids doing that homeschooling for a year and some change, not being around their peers, not developing their social cues and their social abilities and skills is going to be a major effect on this generation. And we're going to see it within the next 5 to 10 years. We're going to start seeing the effects of being locked down at home for a year and a half on our children. You know, we never experienced anything like that when we was kids. So, you know what I mean? We also didn't have this level of technology that we could interact with as well. So that plays a major role. You know what I mean? Um, that plays a major role. And, you know, just the, just the fact that they had to go so long without interacting with other children, that right there. You can put it in the chat. Oh, man. Well, Jen said hi to y'all. You know what I'm saying? Jen, if you're watching on YouTube on your computer, you can just type in the comment section and say
I
hi to
know,
everybody.
but I didn't know they'll know it's me because that's not what my YouTube account is called.
It's all
So
good.
I just
They know it. Just say hi, guys. It's me, Jen.
okay. Well, I guess now I'm on mic now. I guess I could say here. Well, hi guys.
Yeah, y'all say hi to my baby girl, man. You know what I'm saying? We about to go in. You can mute your mic real quick, Jen, and I'll bring you up here in a second. Yeah, man, that's my daughter right there, man. You know what I mean? As y'all can see from that thumbnail was a couple years ago at the Arts Festival downtown. I don't even think they had the art festival yet, or I don't know if we're still having it. I don't know what's going on with that. But yeah, we was at the Arts Festival and we was having a jolly good time, if I might add, man, you know. Yeah, yeah. Y'all say what's up to my baby girl, man. We about to have this conversation, man. You know what I mean? We want to start seeing the effects, you know what I'm saying, of this in the next 5 to 10 years when if you have a child between the ages of I'm gonna say if you had a child or have a child that's between the ages of like 10 and 15. I would even say 8 to 15, but we're gonna just say 10 to 15. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. We're gonna start seeing the effects in these kids, man. Within the next 5 years, these kids is gonna be like 18, 19, 20. Yeah, we're gonna start seeing it. Cause I know a lot of y'all parents. Let me come up real quick. I know a lot of y'all parents maybe have seen or noticed a change in your child's behavior, depending on how many you have and how many actually were going to school from home. You know what I'm saying? But even if you have one or more child, I'm pretty sure that y'all noticed the change or difference in in their uh in their disposition, in their I don't want to say in their character, but you know what I mean. You just notice some changes in them, and you know what I'm saying. I think that this conversation is also important because you know I've seen a lot of talk about this stuff on the news, but what I didn't see in the going on 2 years now since lockdown down there, you feel me? I don't see any outlets discussing how the children feel about this. I don't see any platforms where children have come on and spoke out publicly, articulately in their own way and in their own how they see it. Um, how this has an effect on them, or you know, even what they feel about it or think about it. I haven't seen it anywhere. So it's only right that not only do we do it on A Real Talk, but we also do it with my daughter, who I love to death, who is just like many of y'all's children or all of y'all's children, if they're her age, have to deal with them going to school from home. You know what I mean? So, you know what I'm saying? It's going to get real interesting, y'all. You know what I mean? Please chime in. Like I said, man, if y'all are watching, watch with your children. We're going to open up the panel. You know what I'm saying? I want this to be an open panel discussion. You know what I mean? Parents, any children in attendance, you know what I'm saying? Watching with your parents. Please chime in. Please chime in. Please chime in and add your commentary. You know what I mean? Because I think it's good to get the perspective from our children because they don't have a voice. Juju, hey, what's up, baby? She said hi, Virgil daughter. Her name is Genesis, Juju. You hear me? And I'll tell y'all a quick story why we decided to name her Genesis too. But yeah, we're going to start seeing the effects of this in the next 5 to 10 years, y'all. You know what I mean? And like I said, I don't see any platforms anywhere, mainstream media or independent, alternative, whatever media you want to give it a name to. I haven't seen anybody having a discussion with children and how they, what they think about their experience they just went through, how it has affected them, in what ways has it affected them, and you know, just basically ask them what they think about it. Period. Ain't nobody hating. No, Juju, man. So Eminem, all right, he's just not a guy for me. Juju in the building, y'all. We got Juju. Hit that like button, y'all. Get this out, man. Hit that like button. You know what I'm saying? If you have children, if you got a young child that's, you know, my daughter's age, 12, 13, 14, you know, it'd probably be a good idea for y'all to tap in with them. You know what I'm saying? Maybe y'all never had this conversation with your children. You know what I mean? I know I have. This is something that me and Jen discussed, not like on a frequent basis, but we have more than once before. And she's expressed herself very, I ain't gonna necessarily say vividly, but she's definitely expressed how she feels about it, the effect she thinks it has had on her, and you know, amongst other things. So, you know, we're gonna get to it. Yeah, man. Hey, listen here, Juju. It's gonna be a lot of first over here on A Real Talk Podcast. I am an actual content creator. I'm a real guy. This is my actual daughter we're talking with. If her camera situation wasn't distorted or whatever going on, she would most definitely come up because she has no problem with doing that, right? And she also is a very courageous young lady, which I'm proud of her for because, like I said, I explained to her this is a public platform. It's going to be people listening, watching, and interacting and commenting. And she said she wanted to have a conversation, so we're going to get to it. You hear me? My baby girl came up. You know what I'm saying? But it's all good, though. She said, I'm for a few short seconds. You know what I mean? So, you know, I think it's a very important situation, a very important topic to discuss. Even more important, I think it's very important that we get our children's perspective. Now, y'all be honest, right? Y'all be honest. How many of y'all have really sat down and had a conversation with your children in regards to what they think and how they feel about the experience of being on lockdown for a year and a half, not interacting with their peers, right? I think it's a very great idea, and I think it will be very helpful as in regards to how we can, you know, provide our children with the best learning environment at home to help them cope with this. Because whether you want to admit it or not, it's been very traumatic, to say the least, at best. You hear me? So yeah, man. Now I don't have no problem with showing my daughter for one, for many reasons. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I ain't worried about nothing. Let me just say that. 2, my daughter's very protected. You hear me? You know what I mean? And 3, my daughter doesn't mind having this discussion. She's a very brave and courageous young lady. She's my daughter, so she definitely is learning how, or going to learn how to be able to defend herself. And if you run up on her, it's going to be a bad deal. You hear me? But, you know what I'm saying? She was to say, Dad, no, I don't want to. I wouldn't make her do anything like that. But you know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, we're gonna have a conversation with her. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna get to it, man. And like I said, if y'all got your children out there, man, I suggest that y'all listen with y'all's children. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, y'all, man, the effects of this situation, we're gonna start seeing this in the next 5 to 10 years. You know what I'm saying? And you know, it's a whole generation of children. You understand what I'm saying? Who have to experience this, man. And you know, I imagine for the most part that it's been very traumatic in some degree. You know what I'm saying? Just for the simple fact of not being around other children and interacting with children. For that, I mean, you got to understand, y'all. And I know some of y'all have noticed the change in your children. I know y'all have. You know what I'm saying? And I encourage y'all, if y'all haven't had the conversation with them, to do it, right? You know what I'm saying? And if you, by some reason, happen to not have the conversation with them, you know what I'm saying, you can tap in with us because we're going to have a conversation. You know what I'm saying? Hit that like button, y'all, right? Hit that like button. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Subscribe to the page. You know what I'm saying? But I understand what you're saying, though, Juju, and it's good that it don't. And you know what I'm saying? And that's cool. I appreciate that. You're not doing nothing but just showing those motherly instincts that you haven't yet got to exercise on your own yet. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully one day when you become a mother, you know what I'm saying, you be the best version of her that you can be. Yeah, you already know. You already know, Juju, man. You know what I'm saying? I love my baby girl to death. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I'm very proud of my daughter. You know what I'm saying? She's a very intelligent kid. She's a good kid. She don't get in no trouble. She ain't no little fast little girl trying to be grown. You know what I'm saying? She's very articulate. You know what I'm saying? She's able to, you know, see, you know, decipher things and in her way that she can, you know what I'm saying? And it's just great that she happens to have a father like me. You understand what I'm saying? It's great that she has a father like me to put her up on a massive amounts of game to where she gonna be a nice, well-rounded young lady. Especially if I have anything to do with it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, though, man, y'all, I appreciate all y'all coming out. We're gonna get to it, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? You know, y'all see I'm watching my language, you know what I'm saying? Because although my daughter is not an impressionable young lady, she's not one of these little kids who will hear a whole bunch of people cussing and feel compelled to cuss. Nah, she got her own. You know what I mean? She's not going to go out here cursing. She's not a little kid who you going to hear cursing. You know how y'all be seeing these little kids out and about at the store and they just be cussing up and stuff. And because, you know, you ain't going to see my daughter doing that. You hear me? And yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, it's a beautiful thing, man. And I encourage these conversations, these types of conversations. You know what I'm saying? I think that it's a good thing to do. I think it's a healthy thing to do. And I want every parent to be able to have sensitive conversations with their children in a manner in which you can get this information across to them in ways that they can comprehend and understand. So you won't be like, you know, kind of losing them or, you know, you don't want to confuse them or you don't want to like put too much on their plate to where they don't comprehend the gist of what we're trying to talk about. So make sure you just convey the information to your child in a way that you know they can understand and very, very much get what you're saying to them. You know what I'm saying? Well, I know I make a habit, and I know this probably gets on Jen's nerves, but when she gets older, like I always tell her, she's going to appreciate that I did this. Whenever Jen, or when I say something or use a word that she doesn't understand or know, I tell her to look the definition of it up. You know what I mean? I just make sure I encourage her to try to express what she thinks, you know what I'm saying, articulately through her speech. You hear me? And yes, Juju, like, thank you. Just like Ricardo, thank you, Juju. I do my best. I could be doing a lot more, trust me. You hear me? You know what I'm saying? But, while I'm here, you know what I mean, I'm going to do the best to my ability to make sure that my daughter is a beautiful, well-rounded young woman. You hear me? Yeah, so that's what's up, man. Yeah. Yeah, children do have a lot to say. But one thing about when it comes to giving children a platform to speak, we have to make sure they feel comfortable to speak. We have to make sure that our children are able to speak, as in they know how to read, they know how to write, they know how to, enunciate, they know how to talk clearly. When you can have a conversation with them, you know what I'm saying, and all of that, because a lot of these kids can't even read out here. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I make sure when I tell Jen how to do active reading. You know what I'm saying? When Jen, she likes to read all different types of books, I tell her, make sure you highlight, make sure you take notes, add your commentary in there as you read things. If they make sense to you, just write them on the side of the page. If you have an epiphany, or you know what I'm saying, or if you see something that I said or something, make a note. I'll make sure I tell her to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, highlight words you don't see, or you don't know. I mean, highlight words you never seen before, and look them up. See what they mean. You know what I mean? I make sure I encourage Jen to make sure she's open with me. She can literally ask me anything. She doesn't ever have to feel, and I know, there's going to be some stuff that our kids are just not going to discuss with us, and that's okay. But you want to make sure you let them know, like I do with Jen, like, baby girl, man, you can talk to me about anything. You hear what I'm talking about? Literally, you can ask me anything. I'm not going to be mad at you. I'm not going to cuss you out. I'm not going to make you feel like you're stupid or any of that. You can literally have any conversation. You can talk to me, ask me anything. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's important to create that environment and with your child, so they feel like they can come to you with anything. That's why I always make sure I tell Jen to always be honest, even something that I still have to work on. You hear me? You know what I mean? So, it's a beautiful thing, man. And it's very good, you know what I'm saying? Like my man Ricardo Cray said, man, it's very good to hear from our children. You hear me? You know what I'm saying? They can put things in a perspective for us that we might not contemplate, because we don't have their young, fresh mind, and they're not interpreting things in the way in which we have already interpreted. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? They got a fresh outtake. And when it comes to children Jen's age, like I already said to y'all, they coming into this new system. Jen doesn't remember a time when there wasn't social media. It's been around literally her entire life. And we're going to get into that too. You know what I'm saying? Uh, it's like I said, man, I just think it's important to have these discussions, man. And what better platform to use than my own, you know what I'm saying, and have a discussion with my daughter. Like I said, we're going to make it an open panel. You know what I'm saying? You know, uh, I got the link in the chat at the top of the chat, but I'll throw it there. You know what I'm saying? I'll put it in there right now. Yeah. King Andrew, what's good, brother? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I put there we go. Yeah, man. I want this to be an open discussion, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure Jen don't mind answering some questions if y'all ask her. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I mean? Pretty sure she won't mind. Jen, you can take your microphone off of mute now, baby girl.
Okay.
All right, Jen, just go ahead and introduce yourself to everybody, Jen.
Hi, I'm Genesis. That's kind of it. That's kind of all I have.
Yeah. Hey, Lance Parker, what's good, brother? So, Jen, my first question to you, pretty girl, is when I asked you, did you want to come on the podcast? And, you know what I'm saying, I first said to you, you remember what I first said to you? Did you want to discuss?
Yeah, I think.
Okay, well, go ahead and say it so we can know we're on the same page.
You said, I think the thing I remember mostly how you being in jail affected me, and the
Right.
second was about virtual school, and that was it.
Go ahead, baby.
And I think that was it.
Right. That was it right there. Okay, so in order to get to the one, let's get to that one first, though. Y'all heard what she said. So, Jen, you don't have to get into a deep detail about it, but if
I'm
you,
pretty sure I don't even have the memory to get deep into it.
that's what I'm saying. So, you know what I'm saying. You don't even have to really speak on that right now. You know what I'm saying? If you don't want to, but if you just want to talk about how you wanted to talk about doing virtual school and the lockdown situation and all of that.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll just ask you a little bit later in the show. How about that?
Okay.
Okay. So what I want you to do, Jen, is I want you to tell everybody, you know what I'm saying, being on lockdown and doing homeschooling for all the time that you was doing it for. Just go ahead and basically give them like a brief overview of how you were affected by it, you know what I'm saying, and what ways you were affected by it, and just give them a brief little description of that real quick.
I can't fully describe it because it's hard to get into that because it was mostly the same thing every day, occasionally. But I could boil it down as frustrating and tiring. I could say that.
Frustrating and tiring.
Yeah.
And what about it made it so frustrating and tiring?
Because you wake up out of bed, still in bed, you take out your computer, like early in the morning, not early, but like around 8 o'clock ish. You go get your computer. You go on at 8:10, and you make sure you have all your stuff ready that they gave you. You know, like whiteboards and stuff like that. You go on for class for about, I forgot how long classes will go on, for maybe 30 to 45 minutes. You just sit there and you look at a screen and you just hear a person talking, and it's hard to actually comprehend the information because you're just, it's boring listening to someone speak about school subjects for 45 minutes on the screen, while even though you're in your own house, like you could be literally doing anything else. Like I remember sometimes if it's just a class that I don't really care about, I could just mute it and I would just watch TV, and then I'll get back to the class to do my work. It was very easy to not do work and not learn because you were at home.
Right.
You had your camera off, like me, but that was like willingly had your camera off. No one was speaking because, believe it or not a whole bunch of sixth graders want to speak at 9 o'clock in the morning about math.
Right.
So yeah, that was the entire day till it boils down until you have assignments, you have projects you have to do that are due by specific dates. And you know what? You're at the comfort of your own home. So you think, I don't have to do this right now. Then you wait, and then that builds up, and then your grades are declining. Then you do a little work to build it back up. And then it's just all that.
Right.
That's kind of it.
Okay. Now, as y'all can see from what Jen just said, it's kind of like they just left the kids on their own. You know what I mean? There was no real life structure or order, you know what I'm saying, to put in place. And since it's done virtually, there's no way to enforce this structure or a structure, discipline. So kids can just be Jen, just to ask you real quick, baby girl, was it mandatory for y'all to cam up, or did y'all have the choice to not cam up?
I think I forgot. They made it mandatory until like they just it depends on which class or what you have to do. I remember they made it mandatory, but they kind of forgot it was not like strictly enforced.
Right.
Like if you didn't put on your camera, you could you get kicked out of the call or something like that. Like it wasn't that serious. It was not strictly enforced, but it was like you kind of had to, or they won't or they will say like your attendance, like they didn't count your attendance if you didn't put on your camera.
Right.
Something like that. But I didn't really have no problems with it.
Oh, okay.
But sometimes I would kind of lie and say like there's something wrong with my camera, so I just won't turn on my camera.
Well, I'm not honest, Jen. You hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Jen, did you hear what I said?
No, you kind of cut out for a little bit.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Well, I said I appreciate your honesty.
Oh, well, thanks.
All right. Well, just hold tight for a second, baby. Now,
Okay.
The second question I want to ask you, Jen, right? I want you to, explain a little bit the effects of not interacting with children, your peers, for so long. I want you to speak on how has it affected you, if it has at all, and what do you think about not being around your peers for such a long period of time?
Honestly, it didn't affect me at all because I still didn't have friends even before then. So then children interacting was not very uncommon for me. I kind of liked it, not being forced into groups with kids I don't like. I kind of actually liked it, but it was kind of uncomfortable. They'll put us in like little study rooms with each other, and everybody would just be sitting there because no one's like actually like comfortable or brave enough to actually like talk to each other unless they were already friends. And
You talking about on a computer?
Yes, like they'll like for assignments where you have to work together in groups, they'll like assign you to like little rooms with like 4 different other people or 3, or depending how much like what was the project was, and then they kind of just sat there in silence most of the time, and it was kind of cool.
Y'all would be on y'all's computers that they assigned to y'all.
Yes, they assigned to us unless like you had your own computer that you could do that on, yeah, but I didn't. So
and so y'all, they gave y'all little study groups to be a part of. Then y'all had to interact with each other on the computer.
Yeah,
and it was something during the school day, I would assume.
Yes.
Yeah, you said it was kind of awkward because y'all just would be in there and nobody would say anything.
Yeah, that was only the awkward part of it.
Now, that's interesting that you bring this up, Jen, because I don't recall ever talking to you about this part. But now, what I want you to do, Jen, is I want you to talk about that right there, because that's interesting right there, Jen. So tell me how that was for you doing that, though, as far as like, having the little study groups, you know what I mean? Like
that wasn't very common. That only happened once, 2 times. Okay. It was not common.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I told y'all, Jen, she was like me when I was a kid, but I was a lively guy, but I can understand how kids be kind of reserved nowadays, though, because kids be weird and shit. So another question I got for you, Jen, is after I was on lockdown and stuff like that, you know what I mean? I want you to talk about, you know what I'm saying, as far as like, because you mentioned earlier about there was no real kind of like discipline or any kind of like real live observation of what you guys were doing. But you said it was times where you could just be like getting lackadaisical on your work and just like I'll do it here, but it's due at a certain date. There wasn't no place and process for them to like check on y'all or monitor y'all to make sure that y'all were up on your
I mean,
assignments or
they
anything
do
like that.
have like certain websites like Go Guardian that during class that they can look on other kids' screen to see if they're doing the work, but that's mostly during class. But yeah, you have.
Okay.
I mean, if you're home, if you're at home and you're at school at the same time, and you have the choice to do literally whatever you want because you're muted and your camera's off, so you could I mean, I can even be on my phone in certain classes, but I really don't. Only sometimes. Like I was on my phone like during certain classes when I was done with my work.
Right.
Like it was very. I mean, you could do literally whatever you want. I could go get a snack, then come back, and I could go watch TV mid class because I can. I mean, they can't send me home if they do.
Right. So, this is another question I got for you too. Just so, if you was a kid who like got backed up on your assignments, like, was there any disciplinary put in action for y'all? If y'all for like not
Any
turning in
disciplinary
assignments?
actions was your grades will fail. That was it. You fail, you have to restart the grade.
Okay, so basically, yeah. So now think about what Jen just said, y'all. So I imagine there were a lot of children who probably failed during this
Well, I
lockdown
don't know about
situation.
fail because a lot of them made it to 7th grade. I would just say their grades were not very well. They made passing grades. I did too.
So,
My grades were not well that year either.
and I imagine that most kids' grades weren't that good that during that
Yeah,
period.
because most of them, I think, made it to 7th grade. They made it to next year, so their grades were like passing. Because
Right.
I think that was the only years I had continuous D's of like D's, minor F's and C's. Sometimes the highest would be just a B.
Right.
That didn't
Right.
really that kind of took a little bit on me because I was never actually that bad, but I just know that it's not that bad. It could get worse.
Right. But as you see, you can see the difference, the effect. Now, this is what I want to speak on too, since we get into it, since you brought that up. So you see the difference of being at school and from being at home learning how it has an effect on the way you learn. So speak on that, Jen. Speak on how, saying the difference, you know what I'm saying?
The difference was it killed me. If it kills me to wake up in the morning, go on a computer, go to class, and it hurts me more to go wake up, go get dressed, do everything, and then go to school and go there for most of my day. It was the same thing, but it was a little bit better because now that I have an actual class to go to,
Right.
and I can actually do work now. We don't need to do it all digitally. I mean, we still do it digitally.
Right.
Some assignments, but most of it feels good to actually touch paper and
Right.
pencils.
Right.
So,
and see, and I always tell Jen how important it is to actually read books. Jen, you got another window open over there, like or something, because it's echoing.
I don't think so.
I hear myself echo when I'm talking. Yeah. But anyway, hold on. I think I know what that is.
Maybe it's because of my headphones. Because I guess I could put them on. They're kind of around my neck right now. You know, like how you have headphones hanging around your neck, so it's kind of like it's speaking into itself. I could put them on.
Oh yeah, probably what it is. Yeah. All right, hello. You can hear me, baby?
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's still kind of. Oh no, it stopped. It stopped. Okay, yeah. So yeah, that's crazy, man, Jim. Because I know I could imagine, having to be online learning assignments and stuff. I know I already see. I could just think of how different that would be, and I could just imagine the effects that would have had on me when I was a. It's like when you, like you said, being able to actually touch paper, and this is what I'll be talking about, y'all. This is what I'll be talking about right here: the intentional dumbing down of our children. Now think about this, man. Now I don't want you to take offense to that, Jen, though, but you know what I'm talking about, though, because we talk about this.
Yeah, I think it was to the point like where I think it was so dumbed down. Like when I moved schools, it was not that serious when I moved to Sedalia, but at Central it was a huge thing because we just got off of COVID, so you can't share anything with people, you can't hug people, you can't high five people. You have to walk on the right side of the hallways. You have to walk certain ways around the hallways. You have to it was like a path. You have to take the left way to get to your certain class. It was so much.
Right.
Oh yeah, we have to do like the switching back and forth. Like one day these people are here, one day the A people are here, one people are the B people are here, and then it was that.
Right. So now y'all heard what Jen just said, right? Now think about this. Jen, did they have, like you said, did they have like colored tape in the hallway?
I don't remember. I think they had like yellow duct tape. I don't know. I don't remember. They probably did to show the right side of the hallways where you're supposed to go.
Right. So basically, this is what I'm saying. I want y'all to be able to understand that whole process of when the kids did go back to school, how they were strict, basically no contact with each other. I would imagine that your guys were chaperoned whenever y'all walked in the hallways. Y'all probably weren't allowed to walk in the hallways by yourselves.
Oh no, yeah, we were. Yeah, it was middle school. I don't think they'll take like about 500, 300 kids for a chaperone for each one of them.
Right. So when y'all
you're allowed to walk by ourselves. We're not convicts.
All right, well, see, because that's what I was just getting to. Because I understand that the limited contact with each other, all that stuff you just said, Jen. You said y'all weren't allowed to touch each other, y'all weren't high five each other. Go ahead.
No. I mean, yeah, it was mandatory, but kids, middle schoolers are gonna be middle schoolers. They still broke the rules. The mask they heavily enforced, as kids still didn't care. I mean, I kind of liked it though. I think I kind of liked the mask because instead of sitting there in the cold, it just instead of sitting there in the cold, like just sitting there for my bus, I have a face mask, so that warmed my face. That was kind of it.
So, Jen, that's another perfect segue right there. The whole mask situation. Tell me, in your opinion, Jen, what was the negative thing about it? And then tell me what was the positive thing about it.
Huh?
When, as far as having to wear the mask all day in class when you first had to go back to school, tell me the pros and the cons. What was good about it? What was bad about it?
I can't really name any negatives because it literally is just wearing a piece of fabric on your face. I mean, we all wore a mask before, so.
Yeah, but not all day though. Not all day for 8 hours.
I guess the positives was that they're cute. I mean, you can't decorate your mask. Like I see people like tie-dye them, put like jewels and gems on them. I think that was pretty cool. And what's another? I can't name any negatives, but the positives was that they warmed your face up. Especially in classrooms that were really cold. So that was a positive. I guess a negative would be like when we're eating lunch,
right?
That you have to put it down. Wait, no, that doesn't sound like a negative. You kind of have to do that if you're wearing a mask at all. I guess it was how strictly it was forced on us. I guess I can't name any negatives that actually like annoyed me. I guess the only thing that annoyed me was the teacher yelling at us to keep our mask on when the kids were just not keeping them on. I guess that was kind of it.
Right. Yeah, and yeah, because I mean,
Oh wait, no. A negative is that when I wore chapstick, the fuzz, because I didn't wear like one of those like hospital ones. I had like the fabric ones. Stuff kept stucking onto my lips, and you have to wash them too. So that was kind of it.
Right. Yeah, man. You know what I mean? Like, I could just imagine, you know what I'm saying, having to go to school under those, you know what I'm saying, under those conditions, man. You know what I mean? Like I said, I can only imagine because, you know, we when I was in school, we didn't have to experience nothing like that. You know what I mean? Now that y'all all the way back in school and y'all don't have to wear no mask and stuff, you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, there's still policies. Not strictly about COVID, but it's still more policies that get on my nerves. Like, I don't know what they're gonna do now because I think like the whole monkeypox things. I don't want to go back to virtual school, so hopefully that doesn't get any worse.
I don't think that's going to. I mean, you never know, Jen. They might try to, but as far as
but it's like a whole thing with hoods now because it's 2022. School shootings are becoming increasingly worse, sadly. So you can't wear. They said you can't wear hoods because they don't know if you're hiding something in your hoods, which is weird because you could honestly think 9 times out of 10 you could tell when someone put something in a hood.
Right.
So yeah, that's kind of it.
No, that's good that you brought that up, Jen, because, you know what I'm saying, outside of the whole lockdown situation, you know what I'm saying, now that y'all back in school, this is something that you just spoke on too that's very traumatic in how it affects the kids too, you know what I mean, with all these shootings that have been going on in schools. So, you know, I want you to speak on, Jen, on how your school has gone about showing y'all or you know, setting up any type of like a active shooter situation or anything.
Oh, definitely. Like I think every school has an active shooter drill. My school is considerably big.
Right.
But most of the classes are considerably small depending where it's at. Like I think you've been to my school. You've seen how big it is.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot of procedures to go. Certainly, especially if you're in a certain classroom, or especially how big the classroom is. Because most of the time, most classrooms don't have doors, but in case of an active shooter, sadly, in the building, God, I hope it never happens. That's like if a place have no doors, they'll like try to block it up with tables and stuff like that. If you're in the gym or hide like in one of those little rooms where they keep like all like the sports equipment stuff at, it just varies in which side of the building you are, which classroom you're in, and that kind of stuff.
So, Jen, how often do y'all have active shooter drills?
Drills? It is like it's not often. It's like it happens during a certain month. I think that was with more stuff like that, like with fire drills. They do it as they plan it a certain months. With active drills, they do it like in certain months. It's not just a random drill. They like prepare you about it. They even do that. I think they even do that with buses. Like they do like drills on the buses, and we need to hurry up and get off the bus. I think in my elementary school is that if an active shooter drill is in there and you're in a classroom with windows, that they'll sneak us out the windows and we'll go all the way down, walk down to the Dairy Queen. And I think that's it. I mean, we have like active shooter drill plans. I just don't know most of them though.
Right. Number one fly guy in the building. What's up, man? I appreciate that, man. We got my daughter Genesis in the building. Y'all having this discussion about, you know, saying how, you know, things affect our children, man, and just getting their take on, what they're experiencing. You know what I mean? And I think this is a good topic to discuss because, like I say, I know it's probably not too often that we have a discussions like this on platforms like this. You might have the discussion with your child amongst your family at home, but what I'm saying, I think it's important that we talk about these conversations or have these issues and have these conversations on platforms like this because our kids, whether they realize it or not, they are affected by this stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I just appreciate Dan for coming up and having the courage to just speak on about her perspective on this stuff. What's all that noise, Jen?
It's just the Chloe's bunk bed above me from me moving.
Okay. So now with this whole active shooter thing, Jen, I want you to speak. I want you to speak on how do you feel about it, what you think about it.
I mean, it's a sad thing. It's a scary feeling because you're generally not safe anywhere. Obviously, especially schools.
Right.
I mean, schools are kind of an easy target if you really think about it.
Right.
And it's scary to think about, which is not something I would not try to think about while I'm in school. Because if that does happen, it's mostly a 50-50 situation. So it's scary to think about. It's almost like you just sitting in your house and just thinking anybody could break in here and just kill me at any time.
Mm-hmm.
It's that you can have those thoughts anywhere, especially me. It can happen anywhere because I'm a child, so it can happen anytime.
Right. Now, this is what I want to ask you, Jen. Now, when it comes to this thing, like that it happens, but it doesn't happen often enough.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jen.
Now it happens consistently. School shootings are not that likely. I don't know. It's not like it's happened, not recently, but nowadays it's most likely to happen once in a while.
Right.
Than before.
Right. What I'm basically just what I'm saying, Jen, is do you get the feeling that with all these shootings going on at schools and stuff, do you feel safe at school?
I mean, I knew where school. I mean, yeah, of course. Sometimes you have that occasional thoughts while I'm walking through the hallways or I'm sitting in class that could possibly at any time could be an active shooter anywhere around the perimeter of my school. I think I don't know if you got the message on, but Mama got a message around like a creepy van that was luring kids with candy around it was something around the vicinity of my school.
When was this?
I forgot, but it happened at some point, like in 7th grade, when Mama was texting me about that it had her school on the lockdown.
Okay, yeah, I remember now.
Yeah, that was the thing that I didn't know why. We just thought like maybe something happened and they kind of want the school on lockdown because not all lockdowns mean there's a potential intruder, but that's what most kids think.
Right.
We hear the words lockdown in the school.
Right. Especially after being on lockdown at home for like a year and some change, you automatically just associate when you hear the word lockdown, you think like, oh, we're probably not leaving school or something like that.
Yeah, but yeah, it was for that reason why they shut it down. Or why they not shut it down, but locked it down. So that was pretty creepy. And I remember at my bus stop, this has nothing to do with my school, but there was a kid who was a man who was like messing with the kids a little bit.
Right.
So luckily I wasn't there for that. But it wasn't at my bus stop. It was at a bus stop in my neighborhood.
Right.
So yeah, that's pretty weird.
Yeah, it's very weird because there's some real creepy people out there, man. So you know what I mean? We gotta make sure we put our kids up on game. And like I say, and like I be trying to stress to Jen, it's important, I think, as a parent, to teach your child self-defense, put them in some type of self-defense classes, karate, boxing, taekwondo, goddamn it, wrestling, mixed martial arts, whatever it is. I think it's a good idea to, be putting your kids up on some game or some form of self-defense. I think that's very important. I think that would not only would that install a lot of confidence in your child, you know what I mean? Because when the person, I'm gonna tell you, as a person who has the ability to defend myself, when you know how to defend yourself, it's a certain confidence you have, right? Let me come up to say this. It's a certain level of confidence you have when you know you can physically defend yourself, right? And I think if children were taught this, it would be less fights, and children would respect what they have the ability to do with their hands and with weapons as well, right? That's why I'm all for teaching kids about guns, how to properly use them, clean them, take them apart, put them together, and seeing what they do so they will have respect for them. And I guarantee you all these little shootings wouldn't be going on. But see, rather doing that, we letting them play stuff like Roblox, and we let them play stuff like Grand Theft Auto and Fortnite and things like that, and Call of Duty. You know what I'm saying? So they don't have no distinction between reality and reality. That's deep right there. You know what I'm saying? So Jen, another question I want to ask you, baby girl, you know what I'm saying? Going back to the situation on being on lockdown, you know what I'm saying? Uh, do you notice any changes in your behavior since you've been on lockdown, or do you
I
notice?
guess I'm more sluggish. Like, I stay in my room more.
Right.
Because that's where I usually, was in my classes. I mean, but I guess I stay in the house more in general because some days I'll be in my room, some days I'll be in the kitchen, some days I'll be in the living room.
Right. Right. Now, as far as interacting with other children, you know what I mean? Do you think that, and if it has, in what ways, have being separated from your peers for so long, do you think that has had an effect on you in any way as
No,
far as how you interact with children now at school, now that y'all back in school now?
no, not really. I mean, it was really difficult for me because I had to go from um virtual class to school. We had to do that back and forth thing, and then I had to go fully back to school, and then I am and then I had to switch schools, which was newer for me. So and I didn't know these kids. So most of these kids already had their little groups and friends, and it took me time to actually gain friends.
Right.
So that was kind of it.
Right. Now, tell me, as far as making friends at school in this environment, and then how things are, do you find that it's a little bit more difficult to make friends now than it was before?
Oh, it's always difficult for me to make friends, but no, not really.
Why is it so difficult for you to make friends then?
I mean, I don't really make friends. People kind of make friends with me. I don't really
Right,
make friends.
right. And this is one of the things that I say right here, y'all, that you know, this is like I said, we're gonna see the effects of this stuff in the next couple of years, man. You know, it's still kind of fresh a little bit right now, but in a couple of years, we're gonna start seeing the effects on certain groups of these kids, man, who've been affected from being at home all that time and not interacting with their peers. You know what I'm saying? I could imagine being a 11, 12-year-old kid, man, and not or a 10-year-old kid and not being able to go outside, man, or not being able to interact with other little kids and stuff, no more. That I could just imagine how that was, man. It's crazy. So now, like I say, now that y'all back in school and, of course, there's still some things set in place, but, it's not as strict as it was before. Do you notice any changes in the total of kids' behavior now that y'all back in school with each other now?
No, not really.
You don't think it's got any worse or better in any ways?
No.
Or now I heard you say earlier that y'all still be on the computers while y'all in school?
Yeah, to do certain like assignments and stuff like that, but as not as much as virtual school. Not every
Right,
single thing was was an assignment on Google Classroom. But yeah, occasionally we have to use it.
right. Now, the difference in now this is what I also want you to break down a little bit. Break down the difference between using the computer in school and using the computer outside of school, like when y'all was at home.
When we're at school, okay, well at home everything was on the computer. Like attendance was on the computer. Signing up for stuff was on the computer. Everything was on the computer.
Right.
And at school, you have a mix of, yes, you have assignments that go with something on Google Classroom that has something you have to do on your computer, or you have to just do this project on your computer, but you can also do a project on paper. It was kind of back and forth, but sometimes you kind of have to do the assignments that are assigned on Google Classroom. Sometimes you have to do this stuff assigned to you physically. It was kind of go back and forth, but yeah, we still have to do work on the computer.
Right. And I imagine when you was in school, y'all had like a teacher there too, so it's a little bit more structure there as far as somebody there to tell y'all like, come on, kids, you got to get to your assignment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right. Now, you know what I'm saying? What was I about to say to you? Right. Okay. Yeah. This is what I wanted to ask you. Okay. Now, see, now that you back in school, right? Do you notice that any change in like how the kids communicate with each other? Because I know you said earlier when y'all used to have to do the little groups sometimes every now and again.
Oh yeah, people are. It's just people are more. They talk way more. I could say that.
Right. So you don't see like any groups of kids that's just off in a cut, just sitting by themselves.
I mean, yes, middle school you occasionally see kids like that, but
For the most part, most of the kids is just like happy to be back in school and interacting with each other again.
yeah, most of them are.
Right. I mean, and that right there, that's a beautiful thing because that's just goes to show, like I always say, that the kids ain't having it. These kids are they're advanced in a way that, like I say, they came into this, you know what I mean? Like they came into this new system. They don't know a thing. They don't know what it was like before any of this stuff. Do y'all understand? Oh, man. Oh, I'm about to come back up in a minute. Do y'all understand what I be saying when I say we at a critical standpoint, and especially with our generation? I'm talking to my people my age now. Our generation was the last generation that knew what society was like before all of this. My daughter doesn't. I want you to understand how significant that is. I want you to understand the implications for and of that, right? You know what I'm saying? It's very important to consider as we go into the future anyway. You know what I'm saying? And it's good to have these conversations with our children because I think it's good to get their perspective so we can get a good gauge of how much they are downloading, right? How much are you want to talk to your children, right? You want to talk to your children and see how much of the program they are downloading. You hear me? I better pay attention to that right there, man. Yeah. So, Jen.
Yeah.
So for the most part, and I think this is interesting too. So while y'all was doing the virtual learning, and it was certain times when y'all had to get into little work groups with each other via online. And I noticed that you mentioned when y'all had to do that no, I guess some kids would probably like cam up, some wouldn't, and then y'all just would be sitting there silent when nobody be saying anything to each other.
Yeah, kind of like that.
So in these groups, Jen, when y'all had to do them, was it mandatory for y'all to can't be on camera?
No, not really. It was occasional for us to speak to each other. It was mandatory. Yeah, you can't just sit there quiet doing your work.
Right. So now I want you to talk about that interaction with kids versus actually interacting with them. You know what I'm saying? Basically what I'm saying, Jen, I want you to give me your take on why you think it was awkward for kids, or why kids didn't even talk to each other when they're used to playing games online. They talking crazy to each other, cussing each other out. But when it comes to a setting like that, it was like difficult for anybody to talk.
Yes.
You know, I mean, what I want you to do, Jen, I want you to try to go in a little bit more depth about what you think about that dynamic right there, though.
The dynamic of what again?
Of the virtual groups y'all had when y'all have to talk to each other. Like, you know how when you just said how the kids being there and nobody would say anything?
I would say it was kind of like sitting there. It was, I don't know how to say it. It was just kind of the way I explained it. Just sitting there, silence. The teacher will occasionally pop in saying, "You guys need to talk." She'd come right out, and then we'll talk for a little bit, and then stop and just keep,
Right.
doing
Right.
a work.
Right. So basically, what I'm asking, she encouraged y'all to have conversation with each other, though, right?
Yeah.
So I want you to explain, or just tell me from your perspective, why do you think it was difficult for y'all to engage in the conversation with each other?
Because it's awkward, because no one knows each other. No one's turning on their cameras and looking at each other. So we're just kind of just sitting there. And that's kind of it. We're just kind of sitting there doing work.
Right. And as y'all doing y'all work, y'all were encouraged to engage in conversation with each other, right?
Yes.
Right. And now that y'all back in school, do you notice that you said that hasn't had a major effect at all? Kids, or even kids, is like they went right back to normal, just happy to see each other, interacting with each other, and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful thing too, man. You hear me? That's beautiful. That right now listen to this, y'all. That right there, what Jen said, proves what I be saying about our children and our youth, man. Even though the youth is like in the crosshairs, right? And they coming for them in all ways possible. You feel me? The kids are not taking the program. Pay attention to that. They're not taking the program. You would think after a year and a half, and I'm pretty sure some kids were heavily, heavily affected. But for the most part, I would also say that most kids were affected, but most kids were able to get back in the flow of things soon as they were allowed to interact and go back to school. Their grades probably got better, or in the process of getting better. They're interacting with children their age, their peer groups, and they developing their communication and how to interact with other people, which is very, very important for their development. You know what I'm saying? And I strongly believe, and I think, and I even know to an extent, definitely can prove it, that is a failed attempt, right? To in so much of a way, perceptually, to damage a group of children, a generation of children, and it didn't work. These kids that went back to school, you ain't seen nothing real crazy happening at those schools, you know what I'm saying, since they've been going back to school, not even last year. You know what I'm saying? As far as like, the occasional fight and nothing like that, but nothing that you would expect exponentially after an experience of being on lockdown for a year and a half. You think that would have made kids very, very, very violent, you know what I'm saying? And very, very kind of, just kind of wily. if you would. You know what I mean? After being in the house for a year, you would think when they got back to school, it'd been like fights, but it wasn't really like that though. You know what I'm saying? Was it wasn't no fights at your school, was it, Jen?
Of course. It
Was
was
it a lot?
fights.
Was it a lot?
And it was one occasionally.
Yeah, but not like a lot to where it's like it's happening like on a frequent basis, like kids just getting scraps with each other though, right?
Yeah, it was not really like that.
Right. And that's what I mean, though. You would think that after that situation, I mean, you think it would be more fights or increasing fights. You would think that because, like I say, especially among your boys, you know, they've been locked up in the house. They want to get out, and, you know what I'm saying? And, you know what I mean? It's just crazy, though, man. It's abusive. Well, I'm glad to hear, and this is why I wanted to have this conversation with Jen, because I wanted to hear how much kids have been affected by this, you know what I'm saying? And, although I know Jen's been affected to some degree, it's good to see and hear that it hasn't affected her in so much of a way to where it's just like, you know what I mean? It's having an adverse effect to where, you know what I mean? It's something that's become kind of permanent. You know what I mean? And I'm pretty sure, and I'm guaranteeing, I'm saying it right now, we're gonna see in the next couple of years the effects that it had on some kids. Because Jen, you also know this, baby girl, during the lockdown situation, there were some children who, you know, committed suicide. You know, we heard about when we talked about a couple of them cases when it happened a couple times. You know what I'm saying? I want to know if at the schools, Jen, do they have any type of like programming at y'all school where they inform y'all about like suicide or anything like that?
Occasionally, yeah, because I think they're supposed to do that.
Yeah, that's crazy. You know, you would never think that they were supposed to be teaching middle school children about suicide, but it's sad that they're doing that now.
Yeah, because suicide can happen to anyone, especially kids my age.
Yeah, that's that, and this is why I like having this conversation with my daughter, because she's young and she don't understand that when we were kids, suicide amongst very young children is like almost a non-happening thing. Not saying that it didn't happen occasionally, but not so much to where it's something that we can say this happens. It happens so little that it's almost not even worth mentioning. But we have to mention it because it does happen in the small numbers that it do. You understand what I'm saying? So, I want you to when they do talk to y'all about that though, like what is it like?
It's in a form of like something our school counselor gives us. They give us a paper, they give us little questions, and then we turn it in, and then we send it back to the school counselor. I was actually called in back there for some of my answers, and I told them everything. I'm already talking to a counselor already. They were like, okay, you can go out. So yeah, they check in on you. If you do answer some of those questions, you know, not the best.
Right. And when you had to go to counseling, Jen, did you feel like it helped you?
Yeah, it helped me because I feel like I'm able to tell people about it.
Right. So, you know, when it comes to counseling, Jen, what was the good thing about it and what was the bad thing about the negative? What you feel was the good and the bad about it?
The negative was Morgan was cutting into my schedules. Like I remember for a concert, we had to cut off. I forgot. I don't think it was a concert, but we had to. We can't. It was something that we couldn't go there, so we had to text her, call her, something like we can't attend this right now. Can we reschedule? Mom had to pay $70 for that. So yeah, that was the only bad part. That it was always on Wednesdays, so that's suddenly the most busiest days we have. Right. So yeah, that was kind of it.
Right.
Of the negatives, the positives was she was a counselor, so I was able to talk to her about problems.
Right. And I remember when we was in school, they had the guidance counselors for us. You know what I'm saying? And I think if I remember correctly, our guidance counselor was named Miss McCullough. Miss, man, I can't remember her name right now.
I don't really like school counselors, see, because they are not actual counselors. I think they say they don't really help with emotional stuff like counselors are. So they kind of help with schoolwork and stuff like that because that's why they're called school counselors. And plus, if you probably did tell them anything, they probably report back to your parents. So I wouldn't like a school counselor, honestly.
You said, well, I mean, but if you was to say something to the people at school that would cross their attention, it's their right because they have to,
Yeah, but it's a school counselor, so that could be honestly anything. If you're saying I'm probably not getting enough to sleep at home, they're gonna call your parents and talk to them about that.
I see what you're saying. So that's
So
basically
everything they're gonna do, they're gonna report back to home, possibly.
right. On some more, just every little thing, they just want to be like, did you be like, oh well, yeah, they're probably trying to get it to back to where they're trying to see what's going on at home or something like that.
Yeah, because that's most likely be what they're assumed to be that something's going on at home.
Right. Now that's crazy, right there.
Which is not a good assumption about all kids. Not all kids are raised in a horrible household.
Right.
That's why I don't want a school. That's why I don't want a school counselor.
Right. See, and that's hey, you know what I mean? Hey, what kind of you know what I'm saying? You could just be a kid that just want to, your mom. And think about it. I'm gonna ask you about this here shortly too, Jen. Just think about it. You at school, you a kid. You know what I'm saying? You away from your mom or your mom and your dad because they gotta work and you at school, and there's things going on, especially if you're a young lady. Y'all must be needing somebody to talk to at school, and then you know what I'm saying. You don't want to feel like if you go talk to your guidance counselor that you're gonna possibly end up getting your mom in trouble because you just being a kid, just thinking you want to, because this is something you probably would talk to your mom about, you know what I'm saying? But you can't because she's at work and you're at school. But when you go talk to the guidance counselor, they sit here, you could just tell them some stuff like, man, yeah, I've just been, you know what I'm saying? I've just been kind of, sleeping. Was anything going on at home? And is that how they be putting it to y'all too, Jen, to make it seem like they pry a little bit, like trying to make it seem like it's something going on, but it's actually not?
Yeah, that's going. 90% of the time it's gonna be going. Something happening at home. Is anything happening at home? Does anything? Do you have any bad relationships with anybody in your home?
Right.
Have you told your mom? Have you told your parents about this yet?
Right. Those are the questions they ask you?
Yeah, those are the questions they ask you because I mean, honestly, they have the right to just call you anytime because they're the school counselors. So yeah.
Right. And so basically, what I hear you saying is that saying they're supposed to be there, so you could just go talk to them because you might just be a kid. You just might want to just go. You know how kids just be like it. It's all you meet one of them kids that want to come tell you how they feeling, and that's what I would think a guy.
I think that's why I like Maury so much, an actual counselor, because she'll tell me at the end of the day, like, do you want me to talk to your mom about what we talked about today? And I have the opinion to say no,
right,
or yes, or kind of.
Right. So tell me the difference as being a young lady, Jen, on how you think about when certain things you don't want to talk to your mom or me about versus talking to your counselor lady about.
Well, Morgan, she can give back proper feedback because she's a counselor, so she's more experienced.
Y'all hear her, man? Go ahead, Jen.
And that's kind of it. That's the farthest I could go into this.
Right. And basically, what I'm hearing her saying, this is what I think is important too. It's non-biased information. You hear me? This is why I suggest that, you know what I'm saying, when it goes to therapy or any type of situation like that, it's always good if you're a woman to go to a man. If you're a man, probably to go to a man as well. You feel me? It was just saying. You know what I'm saying? But if you go to a woman, you know what I'm saying? And you know what I mean? And because when you get this information from somebody who doesn't know you, they don't know anything about you. They're not connected to you emotionally on any type of level. So any information that you talk to them, they're going to be unbiased about it, and they're going to always focus it back on you. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to people who you got emotional attachment to, not saying they're going to give you bad advice or not sound advice, but they're giving you a biased advice or whatever counsel it is based on the relationship they have with you. See, a person who don't know you don't have that with you, so they're going to be very honest about what they see, and because they're going to be focused on you, right? You got to understand that importance right there, and I think that's a very good thing to do. You know what I'm saying? And this is why I say I encourage our kids, and because I understand it's some stuff right now as a 40-year-old man, 40 years young man, that I've never told my mom about. My mom don't know about a lot of stuff I've done. You hear me? That's a serious situation though. But I always encourage kids, especially Jen, I'll tell you all the time, Jen, I say, you can talk to me about anything. But I understand as a father that it's just going to be some things that she's not going to discuss with me, not going to want to discuss with me. And you have to accept that as parents. We like to think that, our children should share everything with us, which I think they should, and that they absolutely, not only should they, but they have to. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's something that we need to take in
Well, I
consideration.
heard that's not a very good thing to do to kids.
Yes, it's
Because-
not. It's a horrible thing to the kids.
Because I heard that parents kids who have parents like that obviously lie to them all the time because they tell them everything. So it's so easy to lie to them.
Right. Did y'all hear what Jen just said? That's game right there. That's how you know she my daughter. Right? Did y'all hear what Jen just said at the age of 13? You hear me? If you force your children to tell them everything, they could start making up stuff. And that is would even encourage, matter of fact, I would dare say, amplify the spirit of lying upon your children. Because when you make them tell you stuff when they don't want to tell you something, because you just feel like you're a parent and they have to tell you something, right? Maybe they just really don't want to. You know what I'm saying? They just don't want to tell you. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all was all kids once too. It's stuff that Val don't know to this day. How about that? And I know y'all know the same thing I'm talking about. Now, I'm not encouraging, if things are happening, not to, say nothing about it. Jen knows what I'm talking about, and I'm pretty sure y'all tell y'all children the same thing. But as a father, I understand, I over-enter out of extra stand that it's some things that my daughter is just not going to tell me about. She's not going to discuss with me. Not only that, she don't want to discuss it with me. I have to be able to accept that. And I ain't going to lie, it's a difficult thing for me, man. I understand what my mom and dad went through. You hear me? Because you would like to think that your children is going to tell you everything. But contraire, mon frere. You hear me? But my baby girl know what it is with me, man. She knows she could come tell me whatever she want to tell me whenever she feel like she want to tell me. You know what I'm saying? I'm never going to try to, unless I absolutely feel in my water that something's going on, and Jen know how I am. She knows not to lie to me. You hear me? So, I'll just encourage that. You know what I'm saying? So, Jen, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to keep you on here too late, baby, because I know you got to get up in the morning and go to school. You know what I'm saying? It's already 9:30?
Kind of, yeah.
9:31. Yeah, we ain't going to have you on here too late. So, Jen, you know what I'm saying? I appreciate you coming on, beautiful.
Thanks.
You hear me?
I guess you're welcome.
Go ahead and give your last words to everybody listening and watching, man.
Hopefully, I have a good day tomorrow. That's my last word.
All right. Well, I love you, Jen, and I'll give you a text in the morning. You know what I'm saying? Tell you good day and all of that stuff.
All right. Well, this was
I
fun.
Okay.
Love
Yeah.
you
Well, you know,
too.
and we're gonna have to do it again sometime again, Jen.
Okay. Well, bye.
Okay. All right. Love you, baby girl. Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. You know, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm proud of my daughter, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And you know, like I say, man, I remember when I was a kid, man, when I was a little young guy running around Agri Green, little young dude. You know what I'm saying? You said you recommend a career in journalism. Angel Johnson in the building. This nigga come, whoever is Angel Johnson is coming talking about some Ashanti, Alicia Keys, who more beautiful. Nigga, I'm having a conversation with my daughter. We don't give a damn about neither one of them bros right now, man. Yeah, y'all. Shout out to Jen, man. That's my baby girl. My baby girl, Jen. She looked like my reflection. She proof it's possible to achieve perfection. You hear me? Yeah. You know what I'm talking about? Let me turn this thing back on, see if it's back jumping. But yeah, though, man, y'all, conversation with my daughter, had Jen in the building. You know what I'm saying? I think it's important to get our children's perspective on things. I think it's important to have conversations with them. I think it's important for them to be given space, platforms to be able to speak openly about what they think and not be judged by it. Don't be goaded or, just let them speak freely. You know what I'm saying? I do that with Jen all the time. You know what I'm saying? I pick my daughter's brain. I challenge her thoughts, and I challenge her thinking. You know what I'm saying? And I encourage her to think for herself. I encourage her to challenge everything, even what I tell her. Matter of fact, you challenge what I tell you the most when it comes to certain things, of course. She knows what not to challenge, and she knows what's to challenge. You hear me? Yeah, Angel Johnson on some bullshit, ain't he, Cupcake, man? Fuck he talking about, man. Nah, he don't block him or nothing like that, y'all. Don't do nothing like that. So he good. He ain't disrespectful, but, you know, this is about me and my baby girl tonight, man. We ain't worried about no goddamn, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah, so, you know what I mean? I'm going to have more conversations with Jen for sure. You know what I'm saying? When she gets comfortable having more discussions, we will have them. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? My daughter is a very, as y'all can see, she's very articulate. You know what I'm saying? She has no problem expressing herself. She can, y'all see, she can hold a conversation and speak, legibly, speak articulately. You know what I mean? I was serious about what I said earlier too, man. I strongly encourage y'all to get y'all child, whatever you have going on in some type of self-defense training, right? It's very good for discipline, right? And to teach a kid not to be a punk and a panic in certain situations. And to teach a child to think critically, you know? Yeah. You know what I'm talking about? So yeah, man, I encourage that y'all have conversations with y'all children. If it's something that y'all would like to do, of course, we can create a situation where we can create where our children can have discussions with each other about things that are important to them or they are affected by, or if they just have a perspective on anything that's going on for society per se, or let's talk or let's say, for example, these school shootings, having to go through prepared, active shooting drills, safety drills, so to speak, I think it's stuff we need to start having conversations with our children about, though, man, because they're coming into this stuff, this system, and they're the most ones who's going to be affected by it. And I think it's good to talk to them about it and have conversations with them, getting their perspective and take on it, you know what I'm saying? And, that way we can better prepare them on how to handle it from home and taking it out in the public with them, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you definitely do. You got crazy people out here, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I'll make sure Jen is definitely going to be most definitely prepared. You hear me? We got, and I said, we especially got to train our young ladies. So I'm not going to say one above the other, though, but, I think it's very good for a young lady to learn self-defense, because it's a confidence that comes over you when you know you can defend yourself. You're less scary. You're less giving off the energy, the energetic resonance that you could possibly potentially be a victim. Right? Understand what I'm saying when I say that? When you have the ability to defend yourself physically, you give off a vibration, right? That it could possibly attract or repel, but either way it go, you're going to be prepared either way it go. How about that? So, Oh, it's all good, Cupcake, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to keep her on here too long because, she definitely got to go to school in the morning. You did. Hold on real quick, y'all. But yeah, though, man, we definitely got to start having more conversations with the chilling, man. Definitely got to have more conversations with the chilling. You know what I mean? Definitely got to start having more conversation with the youngins, man. You know what I mean? They being directly affected by this stuff. Yeah, man. Yeah, it's all good, man. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm saying? Oh, Juju, I see Juju. You still tapping in, watching from the clouds. I know that's right, man. Yeah, man. You already know, man. I appreciate everybody coming out, man. You know what I'm saying? And now, like I say, man, hit that like button. Hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button, subscribe to the page, click on the bell and all of that. Appreciate that. Like I say, man, I really appreciate y'all coming in, tapping in with me, man. I really do. You know what I'm talking about? I really do appreciate that, man. Like I say, y'all could be anywhere in the world, but y'all tapping in and walking with your God, man. I appreciate that, man. I really do. So I love y'all for that, man. You know what I mean? Like I said, I stress that because I really mean that. You know, real talk. You know what I mean? I appreciate the people that watch my content, listen to my content, interact with. I appreciate that, man. I'm gonna always let y'all know that too. I appreciate y'all. You hear me? Because we're gonna have real talk, real discussions over here, man. You know what I mean? And as far as our children, it's important, very important. You know what I mean? Very, very important to have open dialogue with our children, because as this stuff comes in, as this system comes in, you know what I mean, we want to make our children as aware of it as possible from all aspects, all angles, all vantage points. So when they come in contact with it, as they come of age, they can know what they're interacting with when it comes to this unintelligent, artificial intelligence. Right? Unintelligent, artificial intelligence. You know what I'm talking about? We got 2 generations of kids, man, coming in right now who don't know nothing about society and how it was like, what it was like before all of this. I want y'all to understand how important that is, man. I want y'all to understand the significance of that and the implications of what that means, especially for our kids. All right. I encourage that y'all have conversations with y'all children about things going on. Don't ever be on nothing, especially when they govern of a certain age, when they're Jen's age, 13, about to be 14. This is why I said we raising two generations of punks who have not been taught how to critically think and to emotionally react to everything, to identify so much with their feelings that they think that they are their feelings. So it's so easy for them to, react in ways that, are not conducive to develop into a well-rounded human being. How about we just say that? And that's when it becomes our duty as parents to make sure that while these children are being indoctrinated, because that's what it is, we ain't going to make no mistakes about it. We ain't going to cut no cards about it. We ain't about to sit up here and, we ain't about to sit up here and do that. You know what I mean? It's indoctrination. And us as parents have to be willing to accept that. You can counter the indoctrination by informing and teaching your children yourself. You know what I mean? Make sure you put your kids up on the game that you have. Right? And make sure you do it in a way to where it's conducive to them comprehending it in a way that they can get it and process it and make sense of it. You know what I mean? Strongly suggest, strongly encourage that. You know what I mean? So yeah, y'all, man, I appreciate everybody coming out. We ain't gonna drag this one out tonight like that. Tomorrow night is ladies' night, and the feeling's right. Oh yes, it's raising. Yeah, I mean, I'm doing the best I can, Ricardo Craig, man. You know, I got a lot of stuff I need to pull up on for sure. But given the circumstances and situations, I'm doing the best that I can do. I'm trying to instill everything I know into my daughter as much as she can take. Right? You already know, Lance Parker, man. Appreciate that, brother. You know what I'm saying? I think it's important that we have discussions with our children, man. This nigga Angel Johnson, man. Oh my God. Angel Johnson, you just gonna talk about what you want to talk about, huh? The title of the show is A Discussion with My Daughter, and your goddamn it ass up here talking about some Mary J. Blige and goddamn Ashanti. No, I'm not answering it. But I'm not gonna tell none of my people in the audience that they can't answer it if they don't want to. I'm not gonna answer. We ain't talking about no goddamn. You hear me? Y'all motherfuckers on this internet be some weird motherfuckers, man. I'm trying to sit here and tell you, man, but it's all good though. You feel me? That's funny. But tighten up though. Tighten up. You know. Yeah, though, y'all, man. That's a beautiful thing, though, man. Like I said, we're gonna have Jen on again. It's something she want to talk about. So I encourage y'all to have conversations with y'all children, child. I strongly suggest it. You know what I'm saying? Hey, they cool, Cupcake, man. They ain't doing nothing disrespectful, man. They good, man. It's all good. It's all good, Cupcake. I ain't tripping. You know what I'm saying? I'm not feeling no type of way about Angel Johnson, man. They good, whoever they is, man. You know what I'm talking about? They ain't say nothing disrespectful. Ain't nothing disrespectful, nothing like that. But you definitely need to tighten up, though, man. You know what I'm saying? Tighten up, man. That's all I'm gonna say. Tighten up. You good though, man. You good. You good. You good. Trust me, you good. Nah, man. Though, but I like I said, I encourage y'all to have conversations with y'all child or children, man, and not conversations about little penny ante bullshit. I'm talking about real life conversations about stuff going on, stuff that they see on the news and TV, because they seeing the same stuff that we seeing. And I think it's good to talk to our children about this stuff. You know what I'm saying? See how it's see how it's affecting them from their perspective too. And and then send them down having a conversation about, the ins and outs and the outs and the ins of whatever the situation is so they can better process it. Not anger. Yeah, you know what I mean? Y'all do that, especially with our children that's getting like Jen, Jen's 13, you know what I'm saying? So you know what I mean? It's important to pick our children's brains, I think. You know what I'm saying? Right. I think it's important to pick our children's brains, is to see what they think and see if they thinking. I have conversations with Jen to see how much of the program she's downloading. And I tell Jen that too. Don't hold nothing back from my daughter. You know what I'm saying? And I always tell her as she gets older, everything I'm saying to her now, because I know she understands what I'm saying. And I speak to Jen in a way to where I know she's comprehending what I'm saying. And I always tell her she's going to thank me for when she gets older. As she grows up and comes into this system, she's going to be thankful that she had a father like me. Because she's going to see it. Andrea, what's up with you, Andrea, man? You coming in late, girl. Jen already gone. You're going to have to watch the playback. I ain't going to keep her on here too long, man. She got to get up and go to school tomorrow. I think 9:30 wasn't too late, was it, y'all, man? Right. 9:30 ain't too late, though, is it, y'all? Right? That's all good, Andrea, man. We all got to go to work, man. Oh, that's probably what it is. My battery probably died on this joint. That's what it is. Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's very important to have these discussions with your children. Y'all better start talking to y'all kids, man. They're not about that little bull. Y'all better start really having conversations with these kids. You know what I'm saying? And speak to them not like they're children. I'm not saying have a grown-up discussion with your child. I'm just saying have a discussion with your child and encourage them to speak. Encourage them to speak freely and fluently. Teach them how to articulate their thoughts so they can better, explain to you what they're thinking, how they're thinking. Uh, Make sure you create the environment to where they feel open and freely to speak. Yeah, you feel me? I know 9:30 ain't too late to have her up. You feel me? She at home anyway. Ain't like she out and about. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's why I said I think I wasn't going to try to like have her with me and then have to. I don't feel like taking her home. I don't feel like doing that. And she's familiar with the technology. She watches YouTube, right? Which is something that y'all got to monitor that too, right? She know how to interact with YouTube, so she knows. But yeah, though, man, that's a hard pill to swallow sometimes as a parent, man. You know, it's a hard pill to swallow sometimes as a parent, that as your child gets older in age and gets more mature, you know, it's just something as a parent you got to deal with and accept that, just some things they're not going to tell you about, you know, especially as a father. I'm going to tell you right now that boggles me a little bit. You feel me? But I accept it though. You know what I mean? Because I know. I was once 12, 13 years old. And like I just said earlier, it's some things that Miss Val ain't never going to know about. Maybe necessarily she don't need to know about too. How about that? Yeah, at this point, it really don't matter. But, you know what I'm saying? Y'all get the gist of what I'm saying. Hit that like button, y'all. Hit the like button. You know what I'm saying? Subscribe to the page, hit the bell and all of that. Share on your social engineering and all of that. Thanks everybody for coming out tomorrow night, ladies' night. We got my girl BG in the building. You hear me? We got BG in the building. Yes, especially with our daughters, Andrea. Especially. You know what I mean? Like I say, man, I'm going to make sure I do my part to make sure Jen is a respectful young lady who don't got no thought in her mind like she don't need no man or she don't need men. No. No. That's not happening. All right? You already know. Lead a child in the way which they should go, and they won't veer off the path, right? You feel me? All right. And our goals as parents is to basically just to teach our children to be decent human beings. That's literally all we're supposed to do. We're not supposed to make sure our kids are CEOs or athletes or whatever the situation may be. Our job as parents is to make sure that they grow up to be a decent human being who hasn't been so devoid of empathy, right? That they completely lost touch with what it means to be a human or to be human, right? And that's what our jobs as parents is, y'all, right? That is what our job as being parents is, to raise the next generation to just decent human beings. And what they do after we teach them how to be decent human beings, that's up to them, right? But up until that point, though, we don't need to be living vicariously through our children. We don't need to be telling our children they need to go to college. No. I don't never tell. You gotta ask Jen. Maybe that's a discussion we'll have one of these days. I don't tell Jen like she got to go to college. I tell Jen if she wants to go. I mean, that got to be her choice to do. But if you don't want to, you definitely don't have to. And when she's a little bit older, to explain certain other things within the next year or so, when she goes into high school, I'll explain to her why she definitely should not go to college. Even from a financial point, how that would just not be unless she's going to go to school for certain things. If she's going to go to university to do something that actually matters and she's going to be able to make a living off of, yeah. But, another topic for another day, right? Appreciate everybody coming out, man. Hit that like button, y'all. Smash that like button. See, I'm sorry that the internet situation over here is kind of messed up right now because I can't use my computer, but my computer is dead anyway. I mean, I could just get my thing out and pull it up, but I don't feel like doing all that right now. It's all good. Friday, we get it in. My man Glitch the Guarantee is going to be in the building. We're having a live listening party for his mixtape album, Up in Smoke. We're going to do a track-by-track breakdown commentary. So we're going to have an open panel Q&A. Y'all can come up and ask my man Glitch all type of questions, inspirations behind the song, because, of course, we're going to get in that to the commentary. And y'all more than likely to tap in and walk with us. It's going to be a fun night on Friday. Friday nights we have fun over here at A-Real Talk. podcast. You know what I'm talking about? Me and my man Glitch the Guarantee is definitely going in. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's welcome. Everybody's welcome to come in and tap with us. You're going to hear a dope album, some dope music. You know what I'm saying? You're going to get the stories behind the songs. And it's just basically an in-depth behind-the-scenes look at the making of the album, what inspired the tracks, and tapping in and walking with us in the mind of my man, Glitch the Guarantee, one of the dopest MCs I know personally. You hear me? And yeah, I told you I celebrate my brethren. I created this platform for that reason. You know what I'm saying? Anybody want to come on the show, y'all more than welcome to come on the show, as long as it makes sense. You feel me? Hit me up in the email that's in the description or in the about section. Get at me. Holler at me. All of that type stuff. Possible collaborations, you know what I mean? You know, one-on-ones, whatever the situation may be. You know what I'm talking about? Some very interesting topics we're going to be discussing next week. I wanted to fall back and do some more research into these topics before we have a real in-depth conversation about it. And also, you know what I'm saying, been sitting up here putting in some effort, doing some pre-recordeds, you know what I'm saying? So I wanted to finish up on my pre-recordeds, man, and, you know what I'm saying, get them all nice and edited up so I can just drop them, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah, man, but I appreciate everybody coming out. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate everybody coming out. Like I said, y'all could have been anywhere in the world, but y'all right here with the guy, man. I appreciate that. Definitely appreciate it. Respect that. Love y'all for that, man. I'm being honest with y'all when I say that. You know what I'm saying? I value y'all, your support. You know what I'm saying? I ain't one of these guys, and I value the support. You know what I'm saying? For real, for real. I understand how valuable it is. And one thing for sure, two things for certain, I'm always going to bring y'all the raw and uncut, real talk about whatever it is we're discussing over here. I think it's important, like I said, to have these conversations with our children. You know what I mean? Because I believe the children are the future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. I can't sing word for them, but that's some real shit, though. You know what I mean? It's important to, you know, pick the brains of our children, the youth, see where their heads is at. And one thing I want y'all to keep in mind when you engage in conversation with your children or any children, right? Especially when they becoming, especially when they're young teens like Jen, you know, the 13-year-olds, the 14-year-olds, you know, I'm talking about the young zennials, you know what I'm saying? You want to get a good gauge of how much of the program they have downloaded and how much they have rejected. Now, pay attention to what Jen said, y'all. She said that kids bounced right back. Now, we know that there's going to be a percentage of these kids who have been severely affected by the situation. That we know that goes without saying. But for the most part, according to Jen especially, kids just bounce back right back. They just bounce right back. Right? They got right back in the swing of things. That tells me a lot right there, y'all. It tells me a lot. One, they're not taking the program. Think about in the Matrix when Agent Smith, or not Agent Smith, when the architect was explaining the function of the Matrix and how they have to change the different versions of it to Neo, right? As far as what the humans that were being grown would take as being possible reality. And he's telling them that whole crops was lost. Whole crops and humans were lost because they didn't take a certain program of a utopian society where everything just was split. That's so profound to me, man. Right? Because it's basically it's saying in the Matrix that a too perfect society would cause humans to die out because humans are so addicted to drama and trauma that they need to have societies in a state of disarray in order to function properly. That is very profound too. It's a very profound cognitive dissonance right there. Yeah. Yeah, so we're going to keep going in over here. Hey, real talk, y'all, man. Like I said, I appreciate everybody coming out tonight. You know what I'm saying? Y'all could be anywhere in the world, but y'all right here with me and with my baby girl for the time she was here. I appreciate that. All honor due, pay respects to everybody. You know what I'm saying? I do this for y'all, man. You hear me? I do this for y'all. This is y'all's platform. I mean, it's my platform, of course. I'm overseeing this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? But this is y'all platform, though. And if you a real one, you know what I mean when I say that. This is y'all's platform. Right. You want to promote your business, what you got going on in your city, in your hood, right? Or somebody doing something other like. You know what I'm talking about? If y'all want to have a conversation. And I'm also been, shouts out to my brother Red Supreme TV One, man. I've been looking into some other platforms to load content on, man, and live streaming and all that stuff, man. And when I get everything situated and situated, man, I'm going to go ahead and drop that information, man. And y'all can go ahead and tap in on them other platforms. Because YouTube is cool. YouTube is like the most popular popping, situation. But as y'all pay attention, like I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all have, especially rocking with me, y'all going to start seeing that the censorship is getting heavy. Heavy. Right. And there are actually some platforms out here who, ain't too, how can I say that? They're not too strict on the censorship. How about that? You know what I'm saying? Not too strict on the censorship. And I want y'all to pay attention. And this is why I say it's important to have these conversations with our children. I want y'all to pay attention to how censorship is being ever more implemented. I would even say advertised, promoted, marketed in our society. Notice how Jen said when she goes to talk to the guidance counselor at school, they made her feel as if they were provoking her to say something that wasn't true in order to get inside of their home or to break up the home. Think about that, y'all. Think about when I've been talking about y'all, when I've been talking to y'all about 1984 by George Orwell and the concept of the spies. How they turned all our kids into rat bastards. They did it in the movie Equilibrium too. They encouraged the children to watch and monitor their parents to make sure their parents took their dose, make sure their parents didn't use certain types of language around there, make sure their parents did everything to the point to where you was being watched by everybody, even your own children. And if they saw you doing anything contrary to what the regime had going on as far as the structure of the law system, you will be called a sense offender. Sense offender in the movie Equilibrium. So think about that, man. Think about that, how that correlates to our society right now, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's why it's important to have these conversations with our children so they can understand that their freedom of speech gives them a lot of power. I said the freedom of speech gives you a lot of power. That's why they working ever more effortlessly to take it away from us. And they trick us into doing it. Trick us into getting rid of our freedom of speech. Mm. Yeah, y'all, man, we about to get up out of here, man. I appreciate everybody for coming out tonight, man. You know what I'm saying? Tomorrow night, like I say, we're gonna have BG in the building. You did. All y'all girls out there with that bad box, I encourage y'all to tap in tomorrow. If you have somehow been horribly let down by your mother, right, who didn't properly show you how to take care of your box. You didn't. If you happen to be one of those chicks that grew up and didn't have an auntie or older sister or somebody, granny, somebody to show you how to properly maintain your box. Tap in tomorrow night, 8 o'clock, over here at April Talk Podcast. We're going in. We're gonna have my girl BG on the show. She runs a health clinic, a natural health clinic, known as the Healing Nest. She specializes in natural herbs, natural remedies, natural medicine, and amongst other things, in order to maintain the equilibrium of health. You know, notice how that word equilibrium keep popping up. And one of her areas of specialty in natural remedies and natural, things to do is she focuses and specializes on taking care of that box, i.e., vaginal care, vaginal hygiene, goddamn it, box maintenance. You hear me? And from what I've been hearing, and I'm just saying some real shit though. From what I don't mean to say, I didn't mean to say from what I've been hearing. Let me correct myself and check myself. From what I have been observing, a lot of y'all chicks got bad box. A lot of y'all chicks clearly have an issue with the maintenance and care of your box in many ways. We're talking hygienically. We're talking sexually. We're talking in more ways than just one. You know what I mean? And that's going to be something that me and BG get into tomorrow. Please tap in and walk with us, 8 o'clock, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on A Real Talk Podcast. We going in. Bad Box Maintenance, featuring BG, the homie. You know what I'm saying? And definitely going to put y'all girls on some game because, listen, y'all can't be grown out here with bad box. Listen to me, man. Listen, I'm going to take my glasses off so y'all know I'm serious. Grown women. All right. Grown women. There is no excuse. There's no reason that you as a grown woman is running around here carousing the streets of America in, in whatever city you may be in or from, right, with a bad box in between your legs, man. What part of the game is that? How disrespectful is that? Right? And like always, we gotta blame you niggas. Right? And I'm not doing this as no trying to like create a create a situation where we ain't doing that over here. Right? This some real shit though. As a grown woman, your box should not smell bad anyway. Right? And as a grown woman, you should know how to properly maintain and take care of your box. Right? And we're going to get into all of that too with BG tomorrow. Make sure y'all tap in because we're going to get into all type of aspects of it. We're going to get into what's contributing to these girls having bad box smells as far as what y'all eat, right? Y'all's health, y'all's overall health, physical health. We're going to get into a lot of things, man, that contribute to having a bad box, you know? I'm telling you right now, the majority of it is your health, though. Your actual physical health. Listen here, it ain't no reason why a woman, my age especially, or older, right, got a bad box, man. It's just inexcusable, man. And for you to be a woman to sit up there with that bad box and think you about to go give it to a nigga, man, that's not cool either. But you want to know something? You niggas is so thirsty and so nasty. Y'all go mess with a chick, meet her offline, or meet her wherever you meet her at nowadays. 'Cause you don't even got to meet chicks offline no more to, come in contact with straight whores. I said straight whores. I'm going to get off that, man, because nah, but yeah, tomorrow night we're gonna talk about the box, bad box maintenance with BG. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna be in the building. You know what I mean? And shout out to Jen, my baby girl. I love her so much, man. I'm glad she was able to come on here and have this conversation. I'm glad y'all enjoyed her. So we can definitely have Jen back on the show whenever we have a conversation that's something that the kids are affected by as well. So it's important to get their take. I encourage y'all to, whenever I have those type of shows, to definitely have your child or children tapping in and definitely engage. You know what I'm saying? It's the only way we're going to come up with some solutions for anything. We have to engage with each other first. Anyway, y'all enjoy y'all's evening, right? I'm about to get up out of here, man. You already know, hit that like button, subscribe to the page, share on your social engineering. Like I said, tomorrow night, we got BG on the show, 8 o'clock. Friday night, we got my man Glitch the Guarantee in the building. We going in. You hear me? Live listening party, Up in Smoke, the album. We're going to listen, like I say, track by track breakdown, commentary, all of that. We're going to get some behind the scenes stories and all of that stuff, man. We're going to have a conversation. We're going to open up the panel. People going to be able to come up, ask questions. What did this and that, you know what I mean? And some more stuff, y'all, man. So y'all enjoy y'all's evening. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Thank y'all for coming out. I appreciate it. Like I say, I cherish that. I love it. I honor it. I respect it. I hold it in high regard. Right? Hit that like button on your way out. Subscribe to the page on your way out. Click on the subscribing bell on your way out. Tap in with us tomorrow night, ladies' night. We're going in, BG. Right? Good box maintenance. A lot of y'all girls out there got that bad box. You feel me? And when I say bad, I mean it is just, man. Yeah. BBL, Lance Parker, bad box life. Bad box life. Listen here, man. Y'all too grown to be having a bad box, man. Seriously, man. Let me come up for this real quick. Y'all too grown to be having a bad box, man. I expect that from one of these little pissy, little pussy, little young girls. I'm gonna hit it off. Yeah, man, but for real though, I'm gonna get up out of here though, man. Thank y'all for coming through tonight, man. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate y'all coming out, man. You know what I mean? You know, have the conversations with your children, man. Talk to them, engage with them, challenge their thinking, tinker with their thinkers, ask them questions. You know what I mean? Engage with them, challenge their thinking, hit them, try to get them to expand their vocabulary, encourage them to read, you know what I'm saying? Encourage them to active read too, as well. You know what I mean? Y'all can try that for yourself too, man. You know what I mean? We can get an active reading joint going on, something that y'all interested in, something like that. Y'all hit me up on the email, man. Let me know type of stuff y'all want to see on the show, man. Y'all can definitely hit me with ideas, topics to discuss. I'm always open to it. Like I said, I respect y'all. A lot of y'all are very intelligent. A lot of y'all have put me up on game about stuff. I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? Shouts out to my brother Red Supreme TV1. Shouts out to everybody in the chat. Shouts out to Fantastic True TV. Shouts out to Mr. O and the Ozone Podcast. You understand what I'm talking about? You know what I mean? And go subscribe to all of them right now. Tell them Stacks with the Facts sent you. Sent you. And, yeah, man, we're going to get up out of here, man. I enjoy y'all, man. Y'all have beat tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, we got BG in the building. Go over there to the page, right? It's on my page right now. Go over there. Hit the like button on the joint, you know what I mean? Get them likes up before we even start the show. You know what I'm saying? Get it to 20 likes before we even start the show. And we're going to go in tomorrow night. Good box maintenance featuring my girl BG. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all evening, man. Hey.